It is mid-December 1944, and the Germans are about to launch a campaign along the Rhine to push the American forces back into the Atlantic. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Men of War Assault Squad 2 for the first mission of the Watch on the Rhine campaign. German forces poised ready to strike on enemy positions, and they've got a lot of vehicles and equipment here ready to go. If you guys would like to see more of this, make sure you do your duty and click or tap that like button. Remember, one like equals one trench dug in the battle against Kappa, YouTube, and everything else. Hopefully entertainment that you enjoy, including historical interactions of World War II in the form of games, continue on with your support. So thanks for supporting me and the mod makers of such great mods as this, combining both Rob's realism and, of course, the Watch on the Rhine campaign. We're going to go ahead and get started by firing up our wonderful Stug 4 and Stug 3. Looks like we got both vehicles ready to rock, and you can see on the map there that there's a lot of enemy forces, and so if you'd like to download this one yourself, make sure you check in the description. Excellent. Good to see those vehicles purring and ready to go. We're going to call in some more Volts Grenadier forces and see if we can dislodge the enemy from positions such as these trenches. I do know in this mod, too, by the way, that trenches are going to be very difficult to take, as our troops can't just walk into the trench. The game actually makes them walk into these corners like this, so we'll have to be very cautious about how we attack such trenches as, well, for example, this one on the left side. The Americans have a lot of more lighter tanks out there like the M1, but also deadly tanks such as the M18 Hellcat, which can decimate our tank destroyers if they get close. Let's go ahead and get our troops ready for the attack. We're going to go ahead and push our infantry and tanks up to the edge. The enemy also has some artillery up here in the corner, it looks like. Yeah, absolutely. Some M114s that are quite powerful, so we'll need to watch out for those as they will decimate tanks and infantry alike. The enemy could also have some mortars and whatnot, but it looks like we have mortars of our own over here to supply dump. Looks like we have minesweepers, machine guns. Looks like actually captured American machine guns, and also some other German equipment, including mortars, which will be perfect to use against the enemy. We're going to try to get everyone gathered up here, including this armored car, to try to clear out some light defensive positions. The Americans seem to have a lot of foxholes dug between us and the other trench lines, and like the other missions in the Watch on the Rhine campaign, it is imperative for us to capture enemy positions across the entire map. So we'll do that now. So again, thank you everybody for clicking and tapping that like button, and if you've been a member for a long time, or rather a subscriber, become a member today by clicking and tapping that join button as well to help support for when videos are demonetized for simply showing history. We're going to go ahead and advance here with our troops up to the edge of the tree line, and we're going to get ready to break out all at once. These vehicles here are ready to go, and you can see all of our troops highlighted in blue, but I'll turn that off for now for a little extra taste of realism. The great thing about the Rob's Realism mod, too, is that it actually does incorporate a lot of realism into it in terms of, like, vehicle health and weak points, as well as infantry, sometimes mostly dying with one hit, but sometimes being just wounded and bleeding rather than just becoming either a juggernaut or dead with one shot. I'm going to leave some troops on the left side as well, just because we've got some Americans down there on this side that might counterattack if we start our attack. They're down here by this, what looks to be an outpost, but there is a large fuel depot, too, on the map that we'll need to kind of maintain, I guess some sort of restriction on our firing, or we'll just have to be careful about not blowing those all to smithereens. I don't know exactly what we want to call it, but we'll have to make sure we don't shoot in that area, otherwise it go boom and that bad. All right, we're going to go ahead and get ready with the assault now, and we're going to advance with our Stugs first to destroy what looks to be an M8 Greyhound here, and also a Sherman that are close to the trench line. There's also another Sherman here, and then, of course, we have the Hellcat back there and a 40mm Bofors, which could really cause some trouble. Sometimes they're 30mm, but it looks like this one's a 40mm, so we'll have to be careful for that. All right, those are really the only vehicles that we have at our disposal that can do anything. We also have some PaK-40s and whatnot, but that's going to take a while to wheel into position. So let's go ahead and get started then. We've got our autocannon ready to go. I'll get this squad pushing onto the right side with that. So let's go ahead and set up our attack lines. Go ahead and get our troops to come up as close as possible, and the enemy could fire upon us with artillery or mortars, and there's really no cover here in this open field, so it's going to have to be bellies only, I suppose, until they get towards the line of attack. All right, we're going to move up on the Americans as close as we can. We'll let our infantry take the lead for a while. In the meantime, I'm going to get these troops equipped with some, I guess, some mortars and such. Actually, these guys might be better here. Looks like some of these guys are actual Volks Grenadier riflemen and such, so let's go ahead and call them up to defend the tanks. And we'll try to equip some of our basic troops here with the mortars, which could be quite useful against that trench. We also have some ammunition crates here too that'll be quite useful against well, in supplying our men and trying to fight the war of attrition. Let's get these guys out of the trucks. Mortars are going to have to be carried by hand. Looks like we have a lot of half-tracks, too. The Germans were very smart in mounting a lot of equipment on those half-tracks, which will make them very useful, too, for the continuation of our campaign. Looks like we have a lot of snipers with us as well, but it's not going to be so good against the Americans until we reach the village. All right, troops are pushing forward. Let's go ahead and advance with our vehicles. There we go. And the war has begun. Typical Meta War AI trying to turn to an angle rather than just simply advancing. You're a tank man. Push through it. There we go. All right, German infantry sneaking across, getting as close to American lines as we can. Once we reach this is where we're going to start seeing some fire taking place. American vehicle spotted and already beginning the fire. And let's see if we can hit this with the delete button. Looks like we knocked out a crew member. Oh, wow. That could not have gone any better. And killing a lot of men inside that trench. Incredible shot from that 7.5 centimeter. We're going to try to knock out that M8 Greyhound too. It can do a little bit of damage to our infantry, so we'll have to watch out for that. Ooh, round going quite far there. If we miss, it could fly into another vehicle, so that's not all of a loss. And excellent. Vehicle knocked out there as well. All right, the Stug's doing a great job of bringing the pain. All right, the infantry is pushing up now. Let's get that armored car up to the corner, and we're going to try to start opening fire on what seems to be a defensive position over here where I see like a 30 cal mounted. Yeah, it sure is in the woods there. All right, you can hear the battle kicking off in other positions as well. You can hear gunfire being exchanged. I'm really nervous about enemy artillery and also enemy mortars, so we'll have to be on the watch out for that as we watch on the Rhine. All right, German forces looking pretty good here. We have reinforcements on the way. Everybody's going to be crawling. It is too dangerous here to be walking if we can avoid it. I'm going to bring up a mortar here. All right, there we go. The battle has begun. And it looks like that 30 cal there has got to go. Wow, we actually were able to hit the gun with the autocannon, but it didn't do any damage to it. But the gunner is down, so that's good news. All right, German troops now spreading out along the road. And we're about to be engaged by some sort of artillery, I'm sure. Let's get ready to push forward even further. Starting to lose some infantry, but the Americans have already lost multiple vehicles, so that's good for us. All right, let's push up a little further. All right. Now, where's that mortar? Excellent. We'll be able to supply some of our mortars, too, with our half-tracks that have supply inside of them. And the good thing about that is they can actually resupply and transport troops to and from the front if needed. Okay, there's a possibility the Americans could attack over here, so I'm just going to set up somewhat of a defense. But I do want to get most of our riflemen ready to carry those mortars back and forth. All right, the Americans in the western side are being engaged. Essentially what I'm going to try to do here is push up past this line, clear these positions out, and then try to take the fuel depot and try to push towards the American artillery to clear that out, so that way they can't use it against us as we continue our attacks. Looks like so far they haven't opened fire, but I'm still nervous about getting close enough to where that becomes a reality. And it looks like our mortar is firing too at enemy positions. Seems like there's still troops inside the trench. And we've only taken a few minimal losses. Not bad so far. Now let's continue to push up with our armored car. And we'll try to engage up to this position. Armored car is going to lurk in the woods. Oop. Looks like a shell of some sort flew through. There we go. All right. We have sharpshooters here. We'll push up a little bit there. Let's see if we can get ammo crate up here. I'm going to try to get that going as soon as possible. That's an infantry ammo. A lot of this is infantry ammo. I don't think we have any heavy... Oh, looks like there we go. Heavy ammo crate. Eventually we'll bring a vehicle up, I think. And let's grab another mortar. Perfect for hitting the American positions. All right, let's keep on moving. Okay, ammo crate is ready. And mortar needs a little bit more love. All right, let's bring up some ammo for our mortar. Perfect. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Some of our men getting way too far out there. Okay, the Americans' position is about to fold. German losses are at a minimum. I do see some other guns here that might cover their positions. Looks like maybe a 30 cal somewhere here. Yeah, indeed there is. That's going to be bad news for us. Okay, looks like we have some additional troops to call up. Let's do that. Some more Volksgrenadier of the, I think it was the 277th. Hit the dirt, boys. There we go. All right, the 30 cals up there need to go. So I'm going to try to advance with the armored car a little bit more. Looks like they're firing at our tires. We can exchange fire with those. That'd be great. There we go. All right, one mortar there, out of ammo. Or pretty close to it. Ammo crate coming up, good. And we should have a second mortar on the way somewhere. Ah, there it is. Okay, so we'll have to supply this with additional troops to transport. 2 mortars should be enough to start, and then we'll bring up the third one if needed. All right, I can hear the 30 cal unloading on that armored car. This needs to go. There we go, one of those soldiers down now. This could kill an entire squad if we're not careful. Wow. Direct hit on that enemy. There we go, he's finally dead. All right, the other machine gun still functioning over there. We're going to wait for more of our infantry to arrive, and here they come now. Second mortar's on the way, so we'll get ready to move that position up and exchange fire from a closer range. And we'll bring up that ammo crate too. All right, troops to the far right. So far so good, losses are minimal. And we'll crawl up a little bit closer and clear out enemy positions up to the edge of the trench. So if we're going to enter this trench to clear it or to fire at the Americans, we need to get to about here, but that's right in range of that 30 cal, so that would be bad times for us, so we definitely don't want to do that. But this mortar should be ready to engage that position. There we go. Mortar 1 is firing now. There we are. Oh, good, a direct hit. All right, that seems to be much better. I see some other Americans on the map. We'll go ahead and cease fire for now. And we'll call in specific missions on those as needed. All right, the armored car has only been damaged with the tires, so that's great. Only a few pop tires, not the end of the world. Oh, looks like the Americans actually have quite a few snipers out there. And the armored car is exchanging fire with them. Ah, there's another one. And looks like our own snipers are engaging. Yeah, all right. That vehicle's going to do its best to engage them. All right, there's too many snipers out there. That's 3 men down to those snipers. They've got to go. Let's try to get in that trench. Wow, the snipers are proving to be quite brutal. The only way to fight them is to get up close like this. There we are. The armored car needs to wake up a little bit. Start firing at enemy positions. Whole squad wiped out because the armored car is afraid to use its main gun. However, that's okay. It exposes the Americans' positions. All right, so Dukes are ready to advance. And same with the infantry. Wow, more insta-hacking snipers from everywhere. Way too many snipers. Seems to to be 10 men down, at least from snipers. Don't know where they're at, actually. But they must be around that factory. Regardless, this position's about to fall. There we are. Looks like most of the snipers have been dealt with now. It seems clear. Alright, pull back. We have an enemy vehicle firing at us. Enemy Sherman getting a little sassy. And knocked out. Excellent. Enemy tank eliminated. The MG42s on top of those Stugs are very important. Alright, where else do we have snipers firing from? Ah, up here. There we are. Okay, it looks like another sniper up there. So it looks like each one of these smokestacks plus the water towers had a sniper, so it was like 4 snipers right there, plus 2 machine guns. Hell, imagine making it through there with minimal losses. That's impossible. Not too bad, though. Alright, get down, boys. Push up a little closer. Looks like the mortars are doing some good work. Push up a little closer with those. Looks like our Stug here is being hit by something. Beautiful. Stug hitting the machine gun position there. Good, that's out of the way. Alright, the first position is about to fall. Looks like our vehicle's been tracked. I wonder what exactly is firing at it. I'm not sure. Might be a vehicle on the far left. Ah, there it is. Little Chaffee causing trouble on the far left. Looks like there's also some anti-personnel mines in front of the trench, so it's good we avoided that. It seems like whatever was engaging our tank is gone now. May have not been the Chaffee. Interesting to see that vehicle, though. Far off in the distance. Alright, if we're going to push up here, we need to clear this area. Essentially, the goal is to clear the entire map no matter what. And it seems like smoke rounds are coming down from... I would assume our mortars are probably out of ammo. Oh, yeah. Looks like we're out of... crates are out of ammo, it seems. Let's get our men inside the foxhole here. Alright, good feeling to have the armored car still alive. I did not think it would make it this far. It's done really well, though. Bring up our sharpshooters now to clear up the way. And let's bring up some more supply. So, let's see. We've got, let's see, an officer here. He might be able to call in, let's see if he has some signal flares. No. Okay, that's kind of worthless. Let's see. Well, we could bring up 2 soldiers to operate the half-track here for supply. And then we could try to get another man on a mortar. And those would be quite valuable at this point. Alright, pushing around to this way. We'll bring up the half-track for supply now. Very good. Off to a good start. Alright, a few losses there from the snipers, but wow, I'm glad it wasn't machine guns. It was actually just snipers. Good to see them actually being effective for once. Alright, random enemy soldiers running around. Like the Stugs are holding the line. And I don't want to take the trench because it's loaded with mines, so we'll just go around if we can. We'll try to stay away from it. Stug should be able to engage any sort of enemy infantry with the MG42s. Those are great. And the armored car is still taking a few hits from here and there. Don't see exactly where we're being engaged from. Ah, right there. Oh, armor piercing was loaded. Looks like he's going to need some more ammo. Alright, let's go ahead and reload our mortars. Get our 3rd mortar up here. And let's see if we can get the armored car to fall back a little bit to get ammo. Alright, so far so good. Seems to be there's infantry on the other side of this vehicle too. Let's get a grenade ready. Never underestimate tank crew with like a 45. Oop. That's typical of Men of War, though. Get the grenade stuck in a tree. Had that happen many a time. Let's try that. There we go. Enemy vehicle cleared. Now, sometimes these M8 Greyhounds come with bazookas inside. And in this case, it's a 50 cal, which could shred enemy vehicles, but we'll just keep with what we have for now. Alright, so we're going to clean this area out last, more than likely. There's not too many defenders here, so we can try to clean that up with our remaining forces when the time comes. Seems like we've still taken minimal losses on this left side. So let's try to get a little closer to the left side, see if we can pop a few fools from here, and then we'll move to the right and funnel all of our men into the attack on the right side. Let's go ahead and turn on the ammo distribution here, and let's get our vehicle real close. See if we get that other mortar just to scoot back a little bit. This crate is out of ammo, so let's ditch that in the back. Just get that off the front line. And some of these troops get to actually replenish their ammunition, so that's good. I'm going to try to run real quick into this trench. Some of these guys are snipers, so they might be able to take advantage of the trench to fire down range at anybody peeking out. So we now do hold the trench, so that objective should relatively be complete. Not much more for us to do at this moment. Looks like this vehicle is not able to resupply from here. But we need more HE rounds. I'm going to push up to this small tree line here and see if we can start lobbing rounds into the city. Alright, German mortar positions are looking good. Excellent. Alright, armored car, let's see if we can get him to go back and pick up some sort of supply. Not sure what vehicle here might be carrying heavy ammo. Looks like this is a heavy ammo truck here. So we'll have to get somebody inside that and do it. Just be careful about not actually triggering that vehicle to do anything. Actually, let's get these troops to go inside that truck, and we might be able to bring it to the front. Sometimes it's easier just to bring vehicles back to the rear than it is to bring ammo up. Okay, so far, everything is looking relatively decent. We've now captured the right side and are ready to strike on this area here. Guaranteed that the enemy is going to throw a grenade or a round is going to fly into one of these tanks and it's going to blow up all this stuff. We only need to protect the two large tanks there, so everything else that explodes is fine. I've also seen in this mod that if we destroy this wall, our troops can't just pass through that. So if I like put a HE round here, for whatever reason our troops can't walk into this facility and clean it out, so it's going to have to be something that we maybe perhaps avoid for now. If we go left, that's death. The trenches there are going to be way too intense to clear. There's machine gun and mortar positions everywhere, so we're going to have to come up behind that one. So I really don't see any way for us to advance aside from going far right and seeing if we can get all the way to the artillery position, maybe capturing that, and then spending a good amount of time devastating their positions. There's Shermans everywhere, but we might be able to come up behind them, including a Stewart there and what looks to be a Jackson hiding right there, Wolverine rather, hiding there, as well as a Hellcat. So the Stoogs are a little bit threatened right now. It could be possible that they might end up having a bad time. Where did our other man go? I thought we told both to come back here. Standing around here somewhere. Ah, there he is. Oh, that's our officer. Okay, I thought we told both men to come in here, but alright. Let's see what we got for ammo now. Seems like this thing might still be refilling, so we're going to have to wait a little while for the armored car to be ready. But in the meantime... Oh, here he is. That was our other man with the vehicle idea. Let's see. Well, we have machine guns here. Those are not going to be so great. A vehicle is just best. I would really like to trade one of the Stooks now for like a Flammenpanzer. That would be amazing. But of course, the half-tracks are used for all sorts of things, including rockets. Walking Stuka right now would be absolutely amazing. Apparently this vehicle got damaged. One of these vehicles is damaged. I think it's actually indicating that this vehicle is damaged, yeah. Because of the tires that are actually damaged. Let's get one of our boys to repair that. Alright, the German attack has stopped for now, as we wait for weapons and ammo to come on up. Lol, 1944 weapons and ammo. Well, the Germans had weapons, but ammunition's a whole different story. Let's see if we can get him to go inside. Perfect. Just wanted to pick up that repair kit. All right, we could clean up the forces in the front, but I'm too worried about repercussions from the backside with the mortars and stuff there. So we really need some heavy artillery at this point. And we do have P.A.Q. 43s, which are amazing anti-tank weapons, but they're nothing for artillery. So let's just make sure we have no artillery on the field. We do have light half-tracks and whatnot, but nothing really substantial. We do have a wonderful P.A.Q. 40 here on wheels. I love this thing. The 234-4 is just an incredible vehicle. I love it. But unfortunately, not too great against the like anything else. It's just a tank killer, and the Americans don't really have tanks that we can't handle with the Stugs. It's really good, though, for dealing with, like, for example, a maybe like a EZ-8 or something like that without risking the vehicle entirely. All right, let's go ahead and get this vehicle ready. Oh, apparently the repair kit is not inside the vehicle anymore. Want to make sure we pick up these repair kits because if we run out of those, the vehicle can't be repaired on the front lines. Okay. Well, we can now start firing our mortars into town to soften up the Americans. But that's going to take a very long time. And that's why I opted for a flamethrower. So many objects in this map, it's hard to see where the Americans are at. Seems like an enemy mortar. Oh, was this vehicle destroyed? Oh, the Hellcat was actually destroyed. The crew is bailed out. So we just have the 40mm to worry about. Okay. Let's see for our vehicles now. Might be a good idea to try to zap that Chaffee. Although I don't want to expose the right side of our tank. But it doesn't look like the Americans have any sort of large AT. We actually have another Chaffee there. Hold on, you're going way too far. Okay, that 40mm is engaging us. Okay, I don't see where that enemy vehicle is. 240 seems to be the range that he's at currently. I don't want to get any closer, but it looks like we've attracted that artillery now, so let's pull the hell back. Those could take out our vehicles. No, Man of War AI, just reverse. Your damn tank, reverse. Alright, there we are. So we'll keep our vehicle on the road. Alright, there we are. Okay, it doesn't look like the mortars are engaging anything from here. Alright, let's close in on the factory walls. And let's get our armored car back up here. This is certainly a really good scout vehicle for us. Amazing the amount of work we've done already. The troops we've killed, vehicles we've destroyed, losing no tanks of our own, really no equipment destroyed at all, and just going through some ammunition. We've gotten good results so far. Get that armored car back up here. And eventually we'll be able to steal fuel from enemy vehicles if we need to. I wonder if we can get our troops into this trench without too much trouble. I'd rather have them in trenches for the artillery, but artillery seems to be able to find our troops sometimes and come down right on top of them. Okay, looks like the right side is relatively clear. Left side, rather, so we'll move our troops to the right side. And I'm fairly certain the Americans won't move from this position, but if they do, we do have some soldiers here to stop them from going to our spawn point, where a lot of our vehicles are sitting. And it looks like a P.A.Q. 30... Oh no, P.A.Q. 40 is with us for this truck. Alright, if any of the tanks need ammo, we'll bring it up to them halfway. We'll meet them somewhere halfway. Alright, armored car advance. I'm going to have these troops come up just a little bit. Then I want our advancing soldiers who are coming up now to try to take the front. I'm going to push all the way up to this factory wall and then try to move along this wall to clear out anything over here. I can already see enemy troops here. And it looks like the 40mm down, that's destroyed. There's still an enemy mortar there. That's going to be a problem. All right, let's try to move into the American trenches. Into these small foxholes we go. And enemy soldiers opening fire. Wow. Oh, good. Wow. Enemy, rather friendly mortars firing at the enemy. Good. Yeah, if the Americans fire, they reveal their position, and now that gives us the advantage. So it's now a little time for revenge after all the sniper work they did on rip to like 10+ men, maybe, from that attack. But again, the Americans losing their position, and we now have access to more Panzer Grenadiers. Actually, Volksgrenadiers this time. All right. 3 squads coming up now to reinforce them, plus another one on the way. Really want to use this monstrous F.A.Q. to maybe snipe enemy tanks from a very far distance, but it's going to be such a pain in the neck to set that gun up. But we can definitely try. Let's see if we can find a few riflemen to do it. Alright, looks like we've captured the first line of defense on the far right side. I'm actually going to put this F.A.Q. to work and see if we can set it up to snipe Chaffies and whatnot from a distance. We're going to have to identify where all the enemy tanks are. I believe that other Chaffee over here was destroyed. Nope, seems to be functioning still. So those 2 need to go. And then there's still some Shermans inside the town that we saw before. Here, there, here. It's 3 or 4 of them. And the enemy just like in every single window. The cleanup is going to be a pain in the neck. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into this trench here. Alright, good. Okay, we're going to try to get one squad to move up on the right side. We'll get them up against the wall first. Now, friendly mortars are in a good spot. I think we're able to bring them up now. I'm going to get these guys ready to move on the right side towards the wall, and they'll be able to fire directly behind the wall towards enemy troops. That means that they won't be able to directly see our mortar, and so they might not be able to fire artillery on it. So let's move up. There we are. And we'll try to create a line here, and then we'll have the mortars tuck in on this side. Alright, let's start hitting those Americans. So really, with all these mortars, this is our only option to deal with all those troops. Since we don't have any sort of heavy artillery or rocket artillery, it's going to be the easiest way to clear a town. Let's get another soldier up here. I like the fact that we have our half-track that's loaded with ammunition because it can defend itself. And that's really a good thing. American troops here probably behind the wall. Oh, yep, I can see one soldier there dead. Ooh, this is going to be a surgical strike. Those 2 tanks can't be blown up, otherwise we are basically dead. So we'll have to launch our attack on that fuel depot after we clear out Americans in the center of the map here. If you look at the mini-map there, that area is going to have to be cleaned up a bit. And if they return fire, it's GG, because securing those 2 large fuel tanks is a main objective. So if the rest of the facility explodes, that's fine. Let's also try to not fire near the trees. Let's try to move over this way. Hopefully that's far enough away from the trees. I'm going to actually try to knock these down with the half-track, so that way our troops have a clear range to fire on them. Now, as our infantry advances, the mortars should be able to automatically target any soldiers engaging our troops, and then they'll be able to basically take them out of the fight with mortar fire. So right now I'm just trying to knock these trees out of the way. So the mortars... Timber! Sorry. Yeah, looks like there's one more there. We'll just move this mortar to this side. And we'll try to get our mortars into positions around the vehicle. This one's fine. Alright, let's see if we can start engaging enemy troops. Looks like, I guess the most important position might be that enemy mortar there, so let's try to fire on that. And we'll see if we can get our mortar to fire. And there it goes. Well, we're not hitting the mortar, but we certainly are hitting the troops around it. So direct attacks are out of the option. Out of the options list. We have to attack from the flanks, otherwise mortars and support weapons are going to tear up the Germans. And you saw what just a few snipers did. But then again, in an open field, they're much more effective than if they were in a city, since we might be able to just go around them by destroying the building. Okay, we're going to close in a little bit. Okay, seems like that mortar position's destroyed. Good. And there's a hell of a lot of other positions out there, including machine gun position there. Let's try to pop that. We'll try to go for all the priority weapons. And then maybe sneak up with a tank behind this Wolverine, which is waiting for our Stooks to advance, or our armored car. He's just waiting for us to come around the corner. And then that's going to be a bad time, so we don't want to advance any further. Yeah, we'll just artillery everything that moves, since the Americans are pretty well dug in. Okay, let's bring up our vehicle here, and let's get that P.A.Q. up and running. I don't know if this vehicle carries ammunition for it, but it would be great if it did. And we'll try to bring it up here, and we'll get it set up and pushed into position. Actually, let's bring it over there. I'm still worried about those Americans on that far left. All right, we'll bring up some supply. And another squad. I think we'll leave these guys here to defend the artillery cannon, or the P.A.Q. And, of course, we have our P.A.Q. ready to go, too. All right, well, we're using most of the things at our disposal. There's still a lot of... I really wish I could call out additional riflemen just to drive the vehicles. I feel like if I called out 2 full squads of infantry, it would just be to drive and transport supply and materials to and from the front of the battlefield here. Well, let's go ahead and... looks like this vehicle can't supply, so let's go ahead and drop our cargo here. And let's disembark. We'll go ahead and park this in the corner. Now the P.A.Q. can be used to kill the Chaffies at a long range. Essentially, it's just like like a Tiger without the tank, really. Just think of it like that. It's not the exact same gun, I think, but it's certainly useful. And, yeah, we have another sniper, but rather have the AT gun now. So this thing is carrying a little bit of ammunition, and if we need to resupply, we can. And we'll try to tell it to only fire when it is commanded to. Alright, let's give ourselves a little breathing room on the left again, just to make sure those troops are squeezed into a corner. They seem to be at an apple orchard there. I don't know, maybe a vineyard or something like that, so we'll keep them there at that position. And then we're going to try to zap things like the Chaffee from a distance, and all these mortars are just going to be hell, absolute hell on our troops. So we need to take this very slow until enough time passes for us to grow more Volksgrenadier squads. We're likely going to end up into a situation with Cheese, where one of my squads is just going to walk out in front of a machine gun, and we're going to lose a full squad to that, so we need to be able to replenish as necessary. Let's get these men to go up here, and to try to get over this way and pop up over there. And if the Americans fire at us, hopefully that's enough for our mortars to start firing. And let it begin. Oh, all right, enemy in the window. Okay, let's keep pushing. Let's pop a few of those windows. I don't know where the enemy might be. Okay, mortars are starting to hit them. Enemy artillery could fire on us. Try to get as close to this as I can. Ooh, one grenade. If we get any closer, the Americans are going to throw grenades over. Alright, good. Now we got mortars firing. Where the hell are they firing from? I can hear a BAR. Troops are being shot at, but they can't return fire. Ah, here he is. Oh, there he goes. Alright, our infantry were not capable of seeing him from there, but alright. Not a problem. 3 mortars are taking care of it. Oh, nice. The mortars are luring them out, or rather the infantry and the mortars are finishing them off. Germans can't see, I think, over that fence, but the Americans can. A couple of men down. Uh-oh. The edge of the refinery is now exposed. Okay, if I throw a grenade in there, that's going to be the rip to that vehicle. Let's see what happens. This could be a nuclear explosion. Oh, God. Try that again. Can he actually... Uh-oh, sniper. Can he fire? Okay, he can throw over the top. Oh, damn. Uh-oh. Yep, that was bound to happen. It was scripted. So I'm assuming in this facility I can throw another grenade and eliminate all the Americans with the explosions. But if I do that, it's going to expose the other side of the facility and the Americans will be able to shoot through. Just a few men down now. Sure as hell don't want to bring that vehicle any closer. Damn. Our troops can't fire back. I don't know what's going on. Wow, we're just getting constantly popped. Snipers are out there or something. But this position's going to be difficult to take no matter what, even with mortar support. There we go. Alright, well, as we're attacking, we're going to be taking losses for sure. Also, why are we seeing... uh-oh. Oh, damn, this vehicle's out. Alright, time to ring up the truck. Half track now out of ammo. So now we're going to have to bring up the supplies for that. A lot of troops here are getting popped by sniper positions that our armored cars not firing at, nor our mortars firing at either. Just put a few rounds into these buildings. Alright. Well, not too bad. It certainly wasn't large machine gun death. Let's go up here with the half-track, though, to lay down fire. We'll drop the P.A.Q. and resupply these men, these mortars. Alright, that should be what we want right there. Perfect. Now the mortars can start fighting again. Good. Mortars are going to be incredibly important. Alright, that is it for today's episode, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We will clean out the refinery tomorrow and start working on the right side, trying to push through with this open territory to the artillery. If we can capture that, it'll be the greatest way to clear out all the American troops back here and just make it so it's not a 48-part episode of clearing each individual house. We're going to try to prioritize capturing artillery, cleaning the town, eliminating vehicles, coming up behind the enemy, and then finally finishing up over here. So if you're excited to see more, make sure you leave that like on the way out, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.